Hello, my friends, Gary Goers and fellow poets. Welcome back to Conversing with Poets. We have 11 viewers and only 4 likes. Come on, guys, we can do better than that. Don't forget to hit that like button. It does genuinely really help the channel. It's completely free, but it does help me. So do hit that like button. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jack. Hello, Danny. Hello, a poet. Hello, Mitchell Malone. Hello, Genevieve. Good to see you. Hello, class. Good to see you. Hello, Justin. Good to see you. I think that's everyone. Mitchell, did I say Mitchell? Hello, Mitchell. Hello, poets. Hello, everybody. Hello, a poet. Your Gary Go has gone purple and matches your profile picture, which is nice. I do believe we have a Genevieve. I'm so happy. I will clappy clappy. Yes, we are always rhyming. No, I'm just kidding. You don't always have to rhyme, but I will be very impressed if you make it throughout the entire stream just rhyming. That would be pretty impressive. Gosh, there's so many people here right now. I'm on my phone and I can't take everyone. Hello, everyone here. Yes, hello, everybody. Yes, we have 15 people watching, but only 8 likes. So don't forget to hit that like button. Hello, everybody. Good evening, happy or morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. We have poets here from all over the world. So, um, all of the above. Good everything. Good everything. How are we all? Tag. Ah, okay, tag. There you go. How are we all? Have we been writing? Have we been doing anything this week? What have we been up to? Tell me, tell me, tell me. I want to know everything. A challenge has been thrown. Adam must be shown. Nightbot. Thank you, Nightbot. What's Nightbot saying? I'm not even sure. Everything. Nightbot is also saying everything. That's going to be the word of the stream. Everything. Everything and everyone. Hello. So good to see you here. So good to see everyone here. I've realized I'm now wearing all the merch on purpose, of course. Um, but now it looks like I'm wearing the same outfit in every video so far. So I might have to switch things up for next week. But if you are a channel member, if you are a Gary Goyle, and even a loyal supporter, I believe, you have next week's video has been uploaded. So you can, after this stream, don't leave us just yet, but after this stream, you will be able to go and watch next week's video in early access Gary Goyles and loyal support. I think all channel members get early access to the videos. I wrote that roundel, but I'm not sure if it's proper. Ah, you work quickly, sir. Just working, really. For anyone who's wondering, we had a Poetry Cove hangout on Zoom last night, and it was so fun. And it was great to meet Justin and put a face to Justin's name. And Class was there, Genevieve was there, Mythical Meter was there. I think that I don't think I've forgotten anyone, but it was really great. And we challenged Justin to write a roundel. That's okay. It's your uniform, poetic podcast uniform. I like it with a, what do they call that? A gi? That's a karate gi, I think, isn't it? So yeah, I give it a couple more minutes to make sure everyone gets here. It was fun, and I thought it was hilarious that he thought I was a guy. Yeah, I don't know how that came about, but I'm glad that we've fixed that. We've got on top of that now. So those hangouts, those Poetry Cove hangouts, we are going to be doing monthly, the last Saturday of every month. So if you want to become a channel, if you want to become a Poetry Cover, you can head to thepoetrycove.com and create a free account, and you'll be able to join us on Zoom and get to know everyone. It was really good fun. If you're not a Gary Goal and want to unlock some exclusive content and other amazing benefits by becoming a channel member, here. Thank you so much, little Danny. Oh, Nightbot beat me to it. Oh, shucks. Forgive me, class. No, you're good. You're good. These things happen. These things happen. Hey, look at that subscriber count, folks. I don't know what's going on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think literally 2 weeks ago, maybe it was 3 weeks ago. Maybe it was 3, but I think it was 2. We were sitting on 7,514. In 2 weeks, slash maybe 3, we've gained 100 subscribers. I don't know what you guys are doing to push the channel, but I thank you so, so much. And welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope that you're enjoying the content on the channel. And uh, do say hello in the comments section or in the chat box. If you're hanging out watching live, by the way, don't be shy. Say hello in. Don't be shy. Do say hi in the chat box. Taking a page from Jack's book tonight. You growing. Love to see it, man. Yeah, it's great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So, what topics do we have for discussion this evening? In part one, we're going to talk about the influence of celebrity on poetry and poetics. Well, not poetics, just poetry. And, well, maybe poetics if we go there. And in part two, we're going to talk about I don't know. What are we going to talk about in part two? We're going to talk about the evolution of poetics, and we've also got some news bulletins for you this evening. It was hard work finding the news bulletins today. There wasn't too much to pull from, but I managed to get us two headlines at the very least. So if you have any headlines, do share them with us. And soon I'm going to call upon you to throw in some crazy, not too crazy. Let's keep it respectful. But some funny, let's say funny, some funny headlines uh, for our news bulletin section. Thank you, Adam, for all the hard work you put into this channel and the code. Thank you, class. I really appreciate that. Um, I do it for you guys. I really do appreciate all of your support and stuff like that. So if you're happy, I'm happy, and it's a nice little circle of happiness. I also, by the way, I think it was last week, was right along. We had a super chat goal. We smashed and surpassed that goal, and the reward, if you like, for that was a Barbie Part 2 short. So if you haven't seen that yet, that is now on the channel. There is a Barbie dance Part 2 to the poetry song. So, and Harry makes a big appearance in that too. But don't leave the stream just yet. You can watch that afterwards. You can watch that afterwards. I want you to start thinking of some funny headlines because in about, let's say, 30 seconds, we're going to go into our news bulletin section. It is beautiful too. A nice symbiotic, healthy, poetic relationship/community. I like that a lot, class. Yes, that's what we are. That's what we are. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to think of some funny headlines before we move into our news bulletin section. And we got poetry inspired perfume. Yes, yes, folks. As I said, it was hard to pull something together for this, but we do have poetry inspired perfume and another headline. So, with that being said, I hope you have your funny headlines because here's the breaking news. Breaking news. I can't remember what side this is on. I think it's on this side. Breaking news. Hit me with your funny headlines, folks. Poetic disgusting jobs. Interesting. Just in. There are poetic disgusting jobs, apparently. Apparently, according to class, there are poetic disgusting jobs. I'm not sure what they are. Hopefully, class will elaborate on that one. But yes, just in. Kamala is the new Prime Minister of England. Interesting. That's an interesting one. I don't know how that one happened, but fair enough. We'll go with it. Is it Kamala or Kamala? Kamala is the new Prime Minister of England. I will say no more because we do have a rule of not going into politics, so I won't say too much in the way of UK politics. I don't know. I thought we were supposed to make up something. Pulling hair out of drain pipes. Yeah, no, you're good, class. Just roll with it. I like it. Just in poetic disgusting jobs, but now we need to think of what those poetic disgusting jobs are. What are poetic disgusting jobs? Pulling hair out of drain pipes. Yeah, that would be one. Is that poetic? Pulling hair out of drain pipes whilst writing poetry. There you go. There's a bit of alliteration for you. All right. So, what are my headlines? What headlines have I brought to the table? How about some poetry? Perfume, poetry-inspired perfume. I have a article here. As I say, it was very difficult to find some news bulletins for us today. So instead, well, not instead, it's still a headline. It was still in the news section, I guess. Here we have how Chinese poetry and Nina Simone inspired Aesop's latest fragrance. Perfumer Celine Barrel opens up about the process behind Aesop's new perfume, Orna, a defiant floral inspired by lilac wine, and the ancient female poet Li uh, Qinzhao, I think that's how it's spelled, pronounced. Aesop is arguably best known for its scents. Where is the poetry section? Let me find the poetry section real quick about how this poet inspired the fragrance. I can't find it. Okay, I'm at the bottom of the article, so I must have gone over it. I'm not very good at scan reading. Okay, here we go. In this instance, for Orna, Barrel was supplied with several key cultural artifacts: the song Lilac Wine by Nina Simone and its tensions between softness and defiance, uh, the work of Chinese poet Li Qinzhao, again, I think that's how it's pronounced, and a palette of greens from Werner's nomenclature of colours. So that's all I've got for you, basically. As I say, it was difficult to find headlines today. So let me just catch up on the chat. Uh, I didn't understand. I thought he was. Hey, Jack, let's keep topics like that out of the chat, please. Uh, yeah, let's not do that. Thank you very much for removing that comment. Headline: Barbie picked up some new dance moves from a British poet and his four-legged friends. I like that one. Barbie picked up some new dance moves from a British poet and his four-legged friend. Nice. Thank you, Justin. All right, so another bit of news. I think last week, was it last week's stream that we were discussing about poetry in public? And I think Genevieve might have even mentioned this to me, and I just happened to find it anyway. But we've got children's poetry displayed on Basingstoke buses. Again, I'm really sorry that most of these headlines come from the UK. Obviously, when I'm looking up news bulletins, my IP address is a computer in the UK, so naturally, Google sends me a load of UK news bulletins. But if you guys anywhere else in the world, if you find some headlines that you'd like me to read on stream, you're more than welcome to send them to me. Um, you can email them to me, contact@adamgary.co.uk, or reach out on Instagram. I don't usually check my DMs on Instagram though, so email is probably better. So, buses in Basingstoke feature children's poetry in a bid to inspire the community. The competition was open to primary schools for I don't know what primary school. My head's not elementary school, I think, in the States, and aimed to celebrate young creative talent while enhancing the passenger experience with inspiring poetry. Winning entries were selected and professionally designed for display inside the buses. Students and teachers from Southview Junior School and Parkview Primary School joined blah 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 blah. But yep, I'm sure Danny's probably put the link in the chat by now. These wonderful poems will now be enjoyed by members of the community every day, bringing a touch of inspiration to art journeys. So, awesome job on that one. Oh, that's a different poetry on buses thing I found. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're at 13 likes. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate that. 14, nice. It was somewhere in the States. Ah, so there's also a poetry bus in the States too. So I'll try and grab that maybe for part two, if not for next stream. So that's our news bulletin section out of the way. Any last crazy headlines or funny headlines? Not crazy, not crazy. Uh, going once, going twice.
Wow.
All right, so that's our breaking news out of the way for today. What do we have? So today we're going to talk about celebrity influence on poetry. I found now the first celebrity, the f- the first global celebrity happened to be a poet, a one Lord Byron. You might have heard of him. And I did find a quick article if anybody wants to read up after the stream. Again, I won't read the whole article, um, but Byron had so much influence on many, many different things and was considered the first original celebrity. So that's why I brought this article to the stream. So again, you might want to read it after the stream. It's not entirely about what I want to talk about this evening, but I thought I'd bring something to the table just in case. This is the other bus story. There you go. Genevieve has put it in the chat already for us. Thank you so much, Genevieve. Don't we have the best moderators going? Yes, we do. Is the answer to that. No one say uh, otherwise. I think, while I think of it, can we please give our mods a huge round of applause in the chat? Flood the chat with hearts, flood the chat with applause. If you're a Gary Goal, flood it with Gary Goal love. I've just put it in the chat myself. Uh, because they're amazing and they do genuinely do so much work behind the scenes, and they're amazing and they're so supportive of me. They give me morale boosts and all these lovely things. So please, there you go. All those hearts coming in the chat now. Please make sure that uh, they feel your love as much as you show me love. Please show them some love as well right now in the chat. Flood it with some hearts, and then we can move on to the celebrity influence over poetry, I guess, or the over poetry. I don't know if that's the right word. Thank you, Mitchell Malone. There it is. Perfect. I don't know if it's influence over poetry, on poetry, perhaps. We'll discuss. I guess that's what we're here to do. We're here to discuss. Keep Adam to his Barbie dancing word. Yes, that's what they do. I could use a mod in real life. I have a lousy editor in my head. Well, uh, I don't know what to say to that. Maybe, no, I was going to say make someone up, make a moderator up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. Sorry, Jack. Uh, yes, yes, they do hold me to account as well. So make sure you share your love with them. I feel like they deserve some more love. So I'm just gonna flood the chat myself with it. They need more, more love. There we go. There we go. I have too many personalities now. Yeah, I was gonna say create a multiple personality, but maybe don't do that. There we go. That's better. Yes. All the hearts, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. They deserve it. Honestly, they deserve it, guys. There we go. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, class. Excellent. All right. So let's talk about the influence celebrity has had on poetry. Um, I don't think we've done this before. Again, I say this all the time. Naturally, this might have come up here and there on the channel, but I don't think we've dedicated a whole topic to it. And if we have, I apologize. The more we do these things, the likelier it is that we repeat. But I hope you'll bear with me. Um, so let's talk about how poetry has used their celebrity. Let's talk about how celebrities have used their poetry or used their platform to engage with poetry. What do we think? What do we think? There we go, class. Class knows. Thank you, class. I appreciate it. Yeah. What do we think about celebrity and poetry and how they've utilized their platform for poetry? Do we think it's a good thing? Do we think it's a bad thing? Why do we think it's a good thing? Why do we think it's a bad thing? I'm curious to know. I don't know much about celebrity poetry, yet I think it's a good thing to bring more awareness to the poetry community. Yeah, right. A lot of it has been slated. It can go both ways. It can, Justin. How so? Elaborate. How so? It has had a lot of negative uh, feedback from the poetry community. Why do we think that is? The thing about celebrities writing poetry is that the poetry tends to be less than professional. Right. This is what a lot of people were saying. This is what a lot of people were saying. For some celebrity poetry books, but not all of them. If you see me keep looking this way, that's just because I'm looking at the mod chat. It's not because I'm going crazy or hearing voices. Maybe I am hearing voices, but so do we think then that celebrity poetry is an embarrassment to poetry? Do we think it's do we think it's what's the opposite of embarrassment? Do we think it's something to be proud of that we should encourage? Does it make it more accessible, or does it make it uh, do people take it less seriously? Interesting, Jack. Interesting. Celebrity poetry is more about performance and writing as well. That's interesting. What makes you say that? And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to encourage you guys to elaborate. Because I'm curious as to why you think that is. Good evening and good Sunday, good people. What's up, Adam? Just jumped on board. Hello, Jared. Welcome back to the stream. Good to have you here. Hope you're well. We're just discussing celebrity poetry and the effects it's had on the on the poetry community and the general public as well. It is something that needs to be refined. Morning or good morning, Mark. Long time no see. So good to see you. I was getting worried about you. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Again, we're just talking about celebrity poetry and the effects it's had on the wider community, whether it's a positive or a negative. What do you think? Let me know. Let's say that I were doing spoken word against a certain group at one of that specific group's get together. That would be bad. Yeah, absolutely, I would. On the other hand, if my spoken word inspired the same group, then it's good. Yes. Hello, all. Sorry I'm late. We had a little incident with our dock. Oh dear. One of the cables snapped. Oh, Doc was resting on our neighbor's dock. Doc, guys, fixed it just now. Goodness me, Tanya. I'm glad that it sorted itself out. Okay, cool. And if you haven't already, do hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's completely free and it takes just a few seconds. But it does really help me and the channel. Look at these I mean, you can't see the view counts. In the last 28 days we've had I forget now, 15,600 views, I think. Hang on. Let me pull it up so I'm not lying to you. 15,300 views in the last 28 days. And in the last 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure we've gone up 100 subscribers in just 2 weeks. So thank you so, so much for all the support you're showing the channel. We had bad winds up to 60 miles per hour early this morning and afternoon. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I hope you're staying safe. I was recently enjoying Patti Smith and Leonard Cohen's poetry. Nice. I don't know if it counts as celebrity poetry, though, as he started as a poet before a musician. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would say Cohen is just a poet for sure. I don't know much about Patti Smith, though, so please do enlighten me on Patti Smith. Uh, right. Possibly celebrity poetry is bringing more awareness to the collective consciousness, where people will look into themselves more. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Social media has played a huge role in poetry's sort of uprising, and it continues to become more and more popular, which is great to see. More, at least here in the UK, more and more spoken word nights and poetry nights are cropping up and events, and is really great to see. So poetry is still going up and up and up, and it's great that we find ourselves as poets. It's great that we find ourselves during this time. So make sure we're making the most of it. Uh, and I'm seeing poetry all over the place in commercials, adverts, TV shows. It's being mentioned everywhere at the moment, which is amazing. And I think social media played a big role in that. And of course, celebrity poetry. And what even is celebrity poetry rather than just poetry? I mean, I guess it's just celebrities who have made their name in other mediums and forms, then convert over to poetry. Tick type of celebrity poets. Most are young and charismatic. Right, right. Fair enough. I'm talking more about like mainstream A-list celebrities. One second, guys. Poetry is popular again, just like nerds are sexy now. Okay, fair enough. Um, Hi Genevieve. Poetry seems like it's getting popular, which is awesome. Yes, yes, it is. It is. It is very awesome. You guys are smashing this. So let me ask you a question. I'm just checking my notes. I can't even hide it now because I know when I click on my notes, the screen goes bright and you can probably see me reading. So I'm just going to be open and honest with you. I'm not going to try and hide it. I'm just quickly reading my notes. So I apologize if it doesn't feel natural, but I just want to make sure that we have a good discussion and keep the conversation going. So let me ask you a question then. How big of a part does marketing and star power play a role in celebrity poetry? Thank you so much for those hearts coming in. I don't know if they're for the channel or for the stream or for the mods. So we're just going to share all the love between us. Hi Genevieve, that manuscript is coming. Found a couple pages missing, so writing more material before I send it to you. Nice. Nice. Well done, Mark. I would say that marketing is huge. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. And we have spoken about marketing previously in the past. Um, we have spoken about marketing previously in the past and what a big role it plays. And I guess if you've got a huge marketing budget behind you and you've got star power, then that's also going to play a huge, huge role. And I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I recently, well, not recently, like last year or the year before, maybe I can't keep track of time. I put a video out about did poetry critique go too far? And there was a trend where all these influencers and celebrities were releasing poetry books they were coming out of the woodwork left, right, and center, and they weren't nice. You're a legend. That is crazy generous, Dazzle in the Dark. £19.99 super chat. That's crazy generous. Thank you so much, Dazzle, for that. I can't really believe that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. It really is helping me out at the minute. These super chats are genuinely really helping me out financially at the minute, so I appreciate it. Dazzle, I've yet to receive a poem from you. If you do want to, if you do want me to read one of your poems out, and you're able to, please do hit that super chat and then email me one of your poems, and I will read it the next live stream. Yes, marketing is huge. People would buy a Kim Kardashian selfies book over an old knowledgeable book. People are obsessed with celebrities. This is so true. I guess there are three types of celebrity poets. I feel like the stardom, fame, and marketing make the poetry more noticeable due to the name of the celebrity. That's what I think anyway. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The ones who are taking advantage of current popularity of poetry, and the ones who are excellent performers, and the ones who can actually write. So what I was going to say is I put out a video some time ago about did poetry critique go too far? And there was like a phase where so many people were bringing out poetry books, influencers and celebrities. Um, and I was part of this as well. Like I've always said, since I changed my mindset, I've always admitted I was part of this. And I was seeing so, like, people were going in hard, myself included, for influences like Gabby Hanna and stuff like that. And I realized, like, the mental health, the effects of these people's mental health from being slated the way they were was insane. I can only imagine what that had done. So that's why when I do my review videos now, I try and make sure there's some sort of positive twist on it, whilst remaining honest with you guys, because obviously you're still my audience. So I don't want to recommend a book that I don't think would be worth having in your library. But I do try to make sure that I'm not completely slating the person. Um, so what do we think? Because a lot of celebrities were slated. A lot of celebrities were like, "Yeah, I can write a poetry book," and were completely slated for it. So what do we think about that, if anything? I mean, some people, and you wouldn't be wrong. Some of you might be sitting there and thinking, well, if you put out a poetry book, then you have to be ready for the criticism, and you're not wrong with that. Absolutely, absolutely, you're not wrong. But any thoughts on that? While I quickly go back to my notes. What percentage do these celebrities actually write their poetry and isn't heavily edited? Well, this is a good question. This is a good question. One that I'm not entirely sure of without having like books that I can grab and see if there's an editor mentioned. But I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, Gabby Hanna said that she never had an editor, which is a big problem, I guess. I guess that's what puts you in that firing range if you don't have yourself an editor. But also, how much are the publishers to blame for this? We can always say, "Oh, this poet's work is no good," but ultimately, it's the publishers who put a contract in front of these people and said, "Yeah, we're going to publish your poems," and didn't get an editor involved. So, don't you think poetry is subjective to the reader? I think all art is subjective, and that's what we have to remember. Thank you so much, Justin. That's what we have to remember. Art is completely subjective, and don't be afraid to disagree, even though it's my channel. Like, as I always say with these discussions and conversing streams, if you disagree with me, that's completely okay. Just as long as you keep it respectful and you say so respectfully, that's completely okay. You're allowed to have a different opinion. And art is completely subjective. So what I like reading, some others might not, and what others like reading, I might not. And that may change as well. Throughout time, our tastes change, and that's what makes us human. Some people follow celebrities for certain reasons, music, fashion, whatever it is they do. And when they try something different, then people don't like the change. This is also true. This is also true. But artists, they need to be set free. They should be allowed to experiment into different waters. They should be able to go, I'm a trapeze artist, but I want to get into being a session musician. Um, but as long as you take that seriously and you don't take it for granted, then absolutely you should be able to do that. So if I were a celebrity, I could write rubbish in the tree. With the right marketing, it would be deemed amazing poetry. I mean, with the right PR and the right marketing, I'm sure that that things can be, what's that word? Swing? Sw Politicians have them. A swing artist, a swing whatever. Someone who can make anything amazing. Yep, editors, publishers are into making money. Yes, yes. Spun. Thanks, Genevieve. Spin, yeah. Spin Doctor. There you go. Thank you. Spin Doctor. Gosh, I feel the same way when I go to the art gallery. How is this fine art? Yeah, but again, it's all subjective. I was at the Tate Britain the other day. Wednesday, I had such a huge day of culture on Wednesday. It was amazing. Um, but I went to the Tate Britain and I went into one room and was completely awed by everything that was on the wall, and I was like, "Wow, I couldn't believe it." And then I walked into another room and there was no reaction whatsoever. But that's all subjective. It's all subjective. Again, all art is subjective. It's all about a story and the people that you know. Did you see the banana taped to poster board that sold for millions? And then didn't someone eat it or something? Yeah, that kind of stuff I don't get. That's not to my taste. But if someone wants to pay millions for for a banana and then eat it, I don't know if that was fake news or misinformation on social media, but I thought I saw the person who bought it then ate it. Yeah, I agree. Change is a great thing sometimes, and true followers will come with you for sure. But there is always people who don't like the change and will go nuts. This is true. At Art Basel, someone bought it and ate it. I mean, that's kind of cool. I kind of respect that. If you've got the money, like, if I had the money, that would probably be something I would do. So long as I have the money to just buy it and be like, it's a banana and then eat it. But I don't know if anyone can, again, I don't, it's all subjective. If anyone does know the message behind that banana and does think it was a really cool piece of art, please don't be shy. Please don't sit back and think you're going to get ridiculed. Everyone in the chat, I mean, I know all of you anyway, so you're super nice and respectful. But anyone in the chat, again, just a quick reminder, keep it respectful. But I am curious to know because I'm always open to changing my mind, and I haven't looked into it enough. I haven't looked into it enough. So maybe there was a huge, maybe it was making a huge statement. Um, but the guy who bought it and then ate it is my kind of guy. I don't know the story art piece. I feel like the great poets have withstood the times no matter how they've changed, so they would become celebrities in their own right. Yes, yeah, yeah. And for the record, I'm just talking about um, A-list celebrities known for something else who then came to poetry. It's gone a bit quiet on the celebrity poetry front, actually. It's gone a bit quiet, unless I'm mistaken, unless someone can tell me that a celebrity has a poetry collection coming out or has recently released one. It's gone a bit quiet on the celebrity poetry front. It's good to have an open mind. Yeah, it is. And I do my best to make sure that I have an open mind. I'm always willing to change my mind if the proper argument is put in front of me. Outside of the spectacle of it, I don't really know what it was about either. It's like it reminds me of the Banksy um, piece of art that he framed and was in the auction room. And the moment it was sold, I believe it was him or someone, I believe it was Banksy, but someone pressed a button and shredded the piece of art as the hammer came down on the ding dong. The shredded one? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was my first thought, Banksy. Let me just catch up on chat. I believe I missed some stuff. I don't mind celebrities who are trying to write poetry, but those that aren't exploiting their celebrity. Yeah, that's a huge no for me. If I feel like the celebrity is exploiting their star power, then it's a bit off-putting. But I mean, one of my favorite poetry collections in general, but certainly my favorite celebrity book was Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass by Lana Del Rey. I'm sure you guys know that by now. It was a really well put together collection. I really enjoyed it. There's also uh, Florence and the Machine put one out, and I guess if you're a songwriter, it's a natural transition. And I suppose, hopefully, I suppose you come to the table with a preconceived notion. If they're a songwriter, they're going to be a good poet. Whereas if they're a movie star, will they make a good poet? Um, so poetry comes easy to her. Yeah. Didn't it only get half shredded, then sold for more? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Mitchell, something like that. It definitely got deemed more valuable. Yeah, it's amazing. By the way, if you haven't hit that like button just yet, please do hit that like button. I really, really appreciate it. It does help the channel, I promise you. And we're doing amazing with the likes. So thank you so much for listening to me. And when I ask you to hit that like button, you all do it. We normally hit around 21 likes on stream and on videos and everything else now. So you guys are the best. You're making me really happy. I appreciate you. I was talking on the members video the other day, and I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to cut the stream because you guys make me so happy and make me feel special. So thank you so much for that. Be like me and hit the like button. Yeah, be like class and hit that like button. Thank you, class. Oh, there you go, Nightbot, just in time. Thank you, Nightbot. Has anyone here got a favorite celebrity poetry collection? Does anyone here also sort of collect them? Adam's Pocket Crew. Yeah, I also put my members in my pocket for while I bought a coffee. Maybe that should be a new tier of membership. Pocket Crew. You have been in the industry and could be considered a celebrity. So what do you think? Could it also be an obstacle for celebrities to give poetry a go? Are you talking to me? I do not class. Thank you so much, Justin, but I do not class myself as a celebrity by any means, not even close. But could it also be an obstacle for celebrities to give poetry a go? And you know what? Um, yeah, I do. I genuinely do think it could be an obstacle. But ultimately, if you come at it really willing to give it a go and take the art of it seriously, then it's going to come across. And I think that was the case with Bella Thorne's collection. A lot of people didn't like Bella Thorne's collection, but I could see the effort that was put into it, and I can respect that. And I can see it being, I can see it genuinely. I can see Bella Thorne. I said it in the review video. If Bella Thorne did a part two, I'd still buy it, and I would hope that there would be some progression. It really wasn't that bad at all. I quite enjoyed it. So I know a lot of people disagreed, but I do think it can be an obstacle for celebrities, except songwriters, because we're songwriters and poets are like close cousins, right? So it's a natural transition. But Viggo Mortensen, there's something about Viggo. He exudes artistry, he exudes creativity, and um, he takes his creativity and his art very, very seriously. So I don't think it got in his way. Does that make sense, or am I just rambling? Cohen would be my fave poetry collection. Which one? Nice. I do have one on my shelf. More recently, I have purchased the books of Celia Martinez. I enjoy watching her grow as a person and a writer on TikTok. Yeah, she's great. But I would say she's a poet rather than I know that she's a. I would say she's a popular poet, whereas I want to talk about celebrities that then tried their hand at poetry. For some reason, Justin Timberlake came to mind. I think it's just because I saw Genevieve um, at Justin. That makes me think about the fact that apparently Lucy Liu has a big art career under a pseudonym. That's so cool. Can't remember it though. Just that it came to my attention. That's really cool. You almost have 10k subs. You're at least a month. Again, 10k is a huge number, and I really hope that we can make it by the end of the year. But I don't know if it's a celebrity number. Maybe if Kurt Cobain, I would love a poetry collection from Kurt Cobain. I feel like Miley Cyrus would write great poetry too. The bar is set higher from the get-go. Yeah, and we live in a society where everyone wants to see everyone fail. Um, so it's again, you got to think about the mental health, the toll it takes on these celebrities who tried their hand at things. Artists should be able to express themselves however they wish, so long as they take it seriously and not as class as a money grabbing opportunity where I think some people have done that. There's a double-edged sword of being famous for something specific, but perhaps having another creative space you want to explore. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Makes sense, Adam. I need to go and look it up. I think she was painting. That taking it seriously was the second part of what I was about to say. Yeah, yeah. You can always tell. You can always tell where someone is trying a quick cash grab or someone has taken some time to express themselves creatively and taken it seriously. Whether the audience enjoys it or not is completely out of the artist's hand. Again, it's all subjective, but you can always tell when something has had effort and consideration put into it, as opposed to something that's like, I've got a great name, I got a lot of marketing, I got so many followers, let's just make a load of money by putting a book out. You can always tell. I was writing in the wee hours of the morning, and the final product made me question my own mental health. Been there, Justin, been there. Yes, was about to say whether or not it is good or lands with the audience. Yeah, for sure. Well, Justin, it must be good then. And if you was at the Covers hangout yesterday, we had a great reading from Justin um and Herb as well, who's not with us tonight, but we had great readings from those guys. By the way, I'm trying to get my Instagram followers up. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please consider giving me a follow. It's at Adam Gary Poetry. I usually post lots of updates on my own journey and my own creative output and just general life stuff too. So if you fancy following me, please do so. That was quick, Danny, little Danny. That was quick. Thank you, Danny. I don't have an Instagram, a ghost account that I have never used. That's okay, class. No pressure, no pressure. Only if you guys want to. Only if you guys want to. That's subjective. Oh, it must be good. That's subjective. Got you. I wondered what you were saying then. I thought you were saying it's subjective whether or not class has a Instagram account. I don't know what that emoji is. Is that like a Superman, Danny? That looks like a Superman. That's a cool emoji. I think perhaps that's been the whole point. Yes. So finally, if you are on Instagram and you fancy giving me a follow, please do at Adam Gary Poetry. I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to get my followers up. I did have 10,000, then I completely deleted the account, and now I'm starting from scratch again. So I would appreciate that. Right, we do have a challenge, a poetry challenge. The winner will receive a bronze membership at the Poetry Cove. Class and Justin are already making full use of their bronze membership. And as I say, we're at the Covers Hangout last night. So you will be in with a chance to win a bronze membership. Justin and Class, you're more than welcome to take part again. And if you win, I'll just add another month onto your existing membership. I want to add them, I really do. So I did ages ago, but the algorithm doesn't show me much unless I go look for it. That's okay. I understand. We're always fighting the algorithm. We're constantly fighting the algorithm. So, what is your challenge prompt for this evening? It is falling petals. I think it's falling or fallen. Falling, ing, falling petals. So that is your challenge prompt for this evening. Thank you very much, Danny. We're about to go on a 5-minute break to top up on coffee and use the loo and do whatever we have to do. And when we come back, I will select a winner, as I say, for a 1-month bronze membership at the Poetry Cove. So, with all that being said, let's take a 5-minute break, catch our breath, top up on poetry, use the loo, doodly doo, and I'll see you in 5. Wow. All right, welcome back. Poetry challenge, sheer madness. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Madness borders genius. Well, you guys know me well enough by now. I am sheer madness. I'm the epitome of sheer madness. Oh, I forgot to. Oh no. Hang on. Bear with me, folks. I forgot to flip my whiteboard round. There we go. Goodness me. Sheer madness. Sheer madness. Okay, I have one. Nice. All right, Mark has one. Great, great stuff. Hold on to it for just a second. Hold on just a second. And I will ask for all the poems in the chat. Let's just give everyone uh some breathing room, or at least the start of one. um nice, nice, Mark. Nice. So good to see you back. We've missed you, Mark. We've missed you. If you in case you missed it, at the Poetry Cove, we're gonna do a monthly every last Saturday of the month. We're going to do a Covers hangout. We had one last night. It was really, really enjoyable. So I know that I know that Genevieve did tell me what day the last Saturday falls on, uh, but I've now forgotten it. But it's the last Saturday of the month. So yeah, we'll be looking out for you there. The sheer madness of the petals falling and seasons changing. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. I overslept. Sorry. No, no, no. Don't apologize. Don't apologize. Um, it's just great to see your name back in the chat. I do think of you guys. I do. If I don't see you for a while, I do go, huh? I wonder what they're up to. I hope they're okay. So it's just good to see you in the chat again. All right. Okay. I guess we're submitting poems. So if you have a poem for the challenge, please, as a poet has done, start it with a capital poem and colon, and then give me your poem. Throw them in the chat right now. And then, as I say, the winner will receive a 1 month free Poetry Cove bronze membership. Leaves of oneliness, of loneliness, have been falling, one by one, every day for years now. I begin to think my life will always be deciduous. March 29th. Thanks, Genevieve. Oh, but now I see the leaves are really flowers. Flowers with tie-dyed petals, with seeds at their center. Instead of decomposing, the flowers take root. My hope blossoms I've lost it. Blossoms from the dark. I clasp your hand. Nice. Those two chats are the same poem. I got you. I got you a poet. No worries. Thank you. Um, poem. Falling petals, dropping like the bricks of the building they surround. Nice. Uh, mourning those fallen before. Younglings not yet world wise, memories faded like paint upon now barren walls. Outside the demolition, cherry blossoms weep for the children who were lost in their care. Wow, thank you, Mark. That's okay. That's okay. Cherry tree is dying. She weeps all over me. Her petals coat the ground. Nice. Her bones are plain to see. Weep no more, my precious. Your petals safe with me. Oh my goodness. I've got my work cut out with I've got my work cut out for me tonight. Three really amazing poems. Goodness me. Wow. I don't know how I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna have to read them a few more times, but I'll give it a couple more minutes to see if any more come in. Ah, class. Falling petals. A confused young soul going around in circle. Oh, I missed it. I lost it. Some background context. Our children's hospital is undergoing demolition. Oh, geez, guys, I have to go. Sorry. Hugs to all. No problem, Tanya. All the best. Great to see you as always. I'm so glad that you could make it. Take care, Tanya. All right, I'll give it a couple more minutes. I'll give it a couple more minutes. Uh, we will figure that out after the stream, Genevieve. But good point, good point. Falling petals, a confused young soul going around in circles, waves crashing bright amongst thunder. Learning life isn't fair. Nice, nice. I don't know how. I've got my work cut out for me. I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'll give it until 5 past to see if any more poems come in, and then I will have to somehow make a decision. Sorry, guys. You may know by now that I have my phone set up to the right of my laptop for mod chat. I'm just quickly typing in mod chat, but I'll be with you in 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. Cool. All right. So, what are we on? We have literally just hit 5 past. As my eyes dropped down to the clock, it went boom, 20:05. So, submissions are now closed, and I have to pick a winner out of these amazing poems. So, where did we start from? I believe a poet came in first. Leaves of oneliness, of loneliness, have been falling one by one every day for years now. I begin to think my life will always be deciduous. But now I see the leaves are really flowers, flowers with tie-dyed petals, with seeds at their center. Instead of decomposing, the flowers take root. My hope blossoms from the dark. I clasp your hands. Oof, okay, that was a poet from Mark. Falling petals, dropping like the bricks of the building they surround. Morning has fallen before, younglings not yet world wise. Memories faded like paint upon now barren walls. Outside the demolition, cherry blossoms weep for the children who were lost in their care. Cherry tree is Justin. Cherry tree is dying. She weeps all over me. Her petals coat the ground. Her bones are plain to see. Weep no more, my precious. Your petals safe with me. Falling petals, a confused young soul going around in circles, waves crashing bright amongst thunder, learning life isn't fair. Okay, that's tough. That's tough. Can we get a drum roll in the chat, please? Lots of drum rolls. Flood the chat with drum rolls. Hello, Ken. Welcome to the stream. Wow, I love those. Whoa, there you go. Genevieve was waiting. Wow, I love those poems. Thanks, everyone. Hello, Ken. Welcome to Conversing with Poets. All right, I'm going to have to make a decision. Decision. Oof. I'm just sorry for the dead air. I'm just reading them back to myself again. All right. Okay, I think it's very, very close. It's very, very close. But I think the winner for this month, for this week, will be uh, Mark. Mark, I know that Mark already has a subscription to the Cove. We got some chicken in there. We got some chicken drumsticks. Um, and some barrel drums. Nice. Very good. Very good. And bongo drums. Uh, I'm going to go with Mark this time. I know you have a membership to the Cove, so I will see what I can do in the back end and see if I can add a month to your current subscription. So thank you so much, everyone. That was very, very close. I, it was difficult to make a decision. So thank you, everyone, for taking the time to write some amazing poems. It was very, very close. I appreciate it. I was going to press a button, but I don't have any buttons to press. Great. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. I'll also do it after stream, but I think it's good that we just did that now as well. So thanks, Danny. All right. So excellent. Excellent. Yes. Round of applause to everyone. So what is our part two topic? You are asking. We're going to talk about the evolution of poetics. Now, I do have an article for this that I'm going to read. I don't usually read it. I don't usually read these articles in their entirety, but this one I think I probably will. I'll do my best not to bore the hell out of you. Uh, and I'm assuming that it's only the one page. It may go on to another page. Let me just quickly click next page and see what comes up. Oh, actually, I could read the next page too. Oh, so I'm going to do a lot of reading. Maybe I won't read the next page because that's kind of what I wanted to talk about anyway. So we're going to talk about the evolution of poetics, the evolution of poetry and the evolution of poetics. So let me quickly read this to you. A good place to start when looking back at how poetry has evolved over time is with epic poetry. Most of the earliest known poetry was a form of epic poetry, some of which dates back centuries before humans began writing down their stories. Before I continue, just to let you know, this is plucked from maybe an essay or something about how poetry works by Caitlin Utley. Just wanted to make sure I gave credit to that before I started reading it all out. One of the earliest poetic works, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which you've probably heard of, dates back to around 2000 BC, when it was part of the oral tradition of the Sumerians. Researchers think that this suggests that poetry and poetic styling was originally developed to help storytellers, who often acted as historians, memorize their stories more easily. As a written text, the epic poem about King Gilgamesh dates back to around 1000 BC. Memorizing my poems is definitely something that I need to improve on. Something I say improve on, I haven't even started, I haven't even made the effort to memorize them, which is terrible because of my background and stuff, but c'est la vie. Let me just quickly catch up on chat. How Poetry Works by Caitlin Utley. Thank you very much, Genevieve. All right. The ancient Greeks and Romans between about 1200 BC and AD 455 were also known for their great epic poetry. Two of the most famous Greek poets were Homer, who wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey, and Hesiod, who wrote Works and Days. The ancient Greeks used poetry in music and theatre and loved to write about their gods and the heroic deeds of great people. By medieval times, about 455 to 1485, poets began to play with both the subject matter and language of their poems. Some medieval poets, like Geoffrey Chaucer, even experimented with writing in the language of the common people, known as vernacular. Before that, most scholarly and artistic works were written in Latin. During the Renaissance period, poets got even more creative. They developed new structures and forms of meter. Playwrights like our good friend Bill Shakespeare and Thomas Marlowe. Wait, Thomas Marlowe? I think there's an oopsie here. It should be Christopher Marlowe. I don't know of a Thomas Marlowe. I know Thomas Kidd, William Shakespeare, and Christopher Marlowe, I'm going to say, incorporated poetry in their plays in what is known as verse drama. Structures and styles, as well as adding layers of meaning to poems, became very popular. During the Enlightenment period, 1660 to 1790, there was a big interest in returning to the styles of the classical Greeks. I'm going to skip. No, I better not. There was a lot of emphasis on formal styles and discipline in writing during this time. During the Romantic period, 1790 to 1830, on the other hand, there was a big departure from the methods of poets during the Enlightenment. The Romantics were all about finding new ways to express themselves. And it goes on and goes on and goes on. So, essentially, what I wanted to talk about is how it has evolved into the 21st century and what we think about 21st century poetry and how poetics, how it's all evolving to the modern day. Are there anything, are there any themes, or are there any styles that stand out as 21st century poetry? What do you think, folks? Let me know. What is 21st century poetry to you? How has poetry evolved to now, to the 21st century? And you can throw spaghetti at the wall. It's okay. It's okay. You can make stuff up. Well, when I say make stuff up, I don't mean literally you can make stuff up. Like poetry, I don't even know on the spot, but poetry has developed into the universal language of, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Don't make stuff up. But I feel like mental health is huge in and outside of poetry in the 21st century. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's a theme on poetry and how it's developed, I guess, as an aid for mental health. I wonder if that has always been the case without people realizing, though. I wonder if that's always people have always written poetry for their mental health, but not realize that they're doing it for their mental health because that was never a discussion. What do we think about that? My first thought was it's gotten shorter, absolutely, but then haiku literally ruins that point. Yeah, I was about to wholeheartedly agree with you there, Genevieve, but then you dropped the haiku bomb, and yeah, absolutely, haiku's been around for ever, pretty much. So, but all in all, I think when you consider how poetics developed from the haiku and became a longer thing, it's definitely gotten shorter again. So maybe it's just returning back to things. I don't know. Modern poetry has lost its form and rhyme. Free verse now rules. Free verse does rule, but in a way, that's a form. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's definitely people don't like rhyming nowadays for sure. Which is something, you know me well enough now, folks. I love rhyming poetry, but it doesn't have to rhyme by any means. But free verse is also a form, I guess. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I feel like we will see the text change to the LOLs and BTWs if we haven't already. I think we have already started to see that. I'm pretty certain we have already started to see that. Art, writing, poetry is for the creative mad geniuses. Yes, for mental health. Yes, true. I think MH has become a topic. Oh, mental health has become a topic, not just a influence now. Is free verse more 20th century though? What do we think? Is free verse more 20th century? Are we turning ourselves back our attention back to form? I don't know. My personal style has changed. I used to be quick firing, beat poetry, freestyle, free verse. That used to be me when I first started out. I have now really started to turn my attention to writing in form and experimenting with that and being really strict. So my perspective is that, everything is turning back to form, but that that might not be true. That might just be me and my little bubble. So I'm gonna leave it down to you guys. What do you think? Do you think form is back? Form is popular again? Everything goes full circle. Old form will come back soon enough. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. But I don't think it will be. I think we'll have a really cool. I think that we'll have a really cool merger where like free verse and sort of quick firing will merge into form, and we'll have villanelles that are written in ways that they've never been written before. I think. I mean, that's the natural progression of things anyway, right? And I just say villanelle because it was the first form that came to mind. But language has changed. I know we were joking about LOL and I don't know what that's called, computer speech or text speak, but language has changed. And so I think it will be really interesting to see that if we do go back as poets and we do turn our attention back to the old forms, I think it's going to be really beautiful to see 21st century language patterns merged with old ancient poetic forms. You got to talk about the imagists. They're the reason modern poetry is the way it is. They were the ones who popularized free verse and decided to use as concise, specific wording as possible. Tell me about the imagists, a poet. I don't even. I admit I've not come across or studied the imagists, or I have and didn't know that that was the term. Sorry, I had to drop out. Client called with a site down. No, you're good, Mark. You're good. You're good. We're just talking about the evolution of poetics, and yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about whether we're slowly turning our attention back to forms and not just free verse and stuff like that. Chat is behind. Are we lagging, guys? Has the chat frozen on the screen? I agree. It will be a merge of old form. Yeah, I think it will be really beautiful to see the 21st century speech mixed in with like ancient poetry forms. It's stuck on an old message. Okay, let me update it. 1 second, bear with me, folks. Apparently the chat box has crashed again. By the way, if you're able to, please do consider sending in a super chat. If you'd like me to read one of your poems live on stream, please do hit that super chat and send in whatever you can. It's very much appreciated. I'm just trying to fix this chat box. It's very much appreciated. And then, as I say, you can email me your poem and I'll read it live on the next stream. Okay, is that okay? Have we fixed that now? I adore alliteration. I like that you did that. I think alliterative verse is very underrated. Yeah, for sure. I like it too. Modern 21st century poetry seems to be about a blend of performance and writing, a return to Shakespeare, maybe. Interesting point. I wish we could go back to the sarcasm of Shakespeare. I would have a battle of wits with you, but I see you're unarmed. He was so good, wasn't he? He was so good. It's like my mug. I can't. The quote on my mug is something like, "I wish you were more like a dog, that I might have some affection towards you." That's me using modern day speech. Um, but yeah, he was so good. Yep, looks good. All right, awesome. Sorry, I don't know what super chat is. That's okay. It's just like a little. It's like a little tip. It's like a little tip if you're enjoying the streams or anything like that. There's a little dollar sign. There's like a dollar note next to the chat box or under the chat box. called Super Thanks or something like that. And if you're able to, it's always really appreciated. But if not, of course, no pressure, no worries. With that being said, if you haven't already, please hit that like button on the video. We're on 19 likes. Let's try and get to 21 likes. That seems to be our average line, 21 likes. So we need a few more likes if you haven't already. I don't recall where I first learned of it, but I feel like there are books floating around of Shakespeare insults. Oh, 100% those exist. 100% those exist. I'm sure you can even get them on t-shirts as well. Okay, so let's kind of think about what Jack's saying with performance and stuff like that. Do we feel the ability to make films and I hesitate to say performance. Are you saying I can send you a poem if I do? Yes, 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 yes. That's sort of what I do in return. If you're able to send a super chat, in return, I will read one of your poems live on the next stream. What was I saying? Yeah, I feel like poetry. I feel like it was in that article actually. I think that storytellers used poetry and poetics to help them memorize the words. So I feel like performing poetry has always been around. So my point is redundant. I was going to say if social media and the ability to film ourselves and make films and videos on our poems, if that influences poetry. But I guess if poets have always been performative, then they've always written their poems with that in mind. So I guess my point is redundant there. I take it back. When is the next stream? Sorry to interrupt. No, you're good. We go live every Sunday at the same time. So this time next week. Imagists are American poets early 1900s, like Ezra Pound. Ah, okay, okay, okay. William Carlos William, Amy Lowell. Okay, so I do know their work. I just didn't know they were called the Imagists. They set new rules for poetry, such as use the language of the common man, yet always employ precise words. Got you, got you, got you. They marked the shift into free verse from the other older dialect of English being used in poetry. Cough, Tennyson. Got you. Thank you so much, a poet. Everyone give a round of applause to a poet for that quick lesson. I appreciate that. See, I learned from you guys just as much as you learned from me. Imagists. I didn't know that's what they were called. Never before has a poet had a forum that lends itself to poetry. Instagram is ideal for short, entertaining pieces. Uh, Never before has a poet had a forum that lends itself to poetry. Interesting. An interesting point. Again, I think I know what you mean. Yeah. It's definitely it's a new medium, isn't it? Film is definitely a new medium, and social media has opened a lot of doors for poets, myself included. Look, social media, YouTube. Is YouTube a social media or is it a streaming platform? I don't know. So let's go social media. Um, it's allowed me to connect with all of you, so for sure it's a new thing. I will send in a poem next week. I love your voice, nice accent. Thank you so much, Ken. I appreciate it. My voice is getting a bit croaky. You're definitely not Canadian. No, I'm English. I'm British from London, southwest London. I think I said in the last stream, there's in the UK we have so many accents. In London alone, you got so many different accents. You can go 10 minutes up the road and someone speaks with a different accent. Okay. Well, I guess we've discussed. Oh, I have notes. I forgot. I have notes that I can refer to. Okay, so we've kind of already covered most of them naturally. All right. I guess we'll just talk about the public reception of modern poetry. I live in a village, 100 people. Wow. Villa plays Liverpool on the 19th. Nice. United just lost to Tottenham. But I hesitate to turn this over to football. Um, what do we think? So let's talk about how there was such an uproar about poetry rhyming, and nobody wanted poetry to rhyme. And even now, I've heard stories. Who was I talking to? I was talking to someone in my workshop. One of my workshop participants was saying they were part of a live stream for the Poetry Society, and they merely made a silly little comment like, and not silly as in like, how do I explain this? It was just a small comment, casual comment. That's what I should have said. Casual comment like, "Oh, I've noticed that none of these poems are rhymes or are rhyming." And he got bombarded with loads of poetry doesn't have to rhyme. Da, da, da. So people are still like very against rhymes in poems. So I wonder if there are any other examples of people not liking old traditional forms and stuff like that. It's fashion, things come in and out of fashion. Yeah, that's true. And as it's already been said, you know, everything in life is full circle. Everything comes back around. I'm seeing lots of 90s fashion, skater boy fashion coming back round. I'm at that stage in my life where my childhood fashion has come back around. Rhyming form is coming back into fashion once again, possibly mixed with free verse. I think Whitman is the grandfather of the free verse movement. Same with me, 90s kids. Yeah. I have to catch up on the replay. The fan at work, and I'm the department head. Laters. No worries, Mark. For a moment, I thought you was calling us all losers. No, laters. No worries, Mark. Go and do what you got to do. We totally understand. Uh, I hope it's not too stressful for you. Hip huggers. Hip huggers. I've not heard of that. I don't know what that is. Hip huggers. I used to have like the baggiest jeans with the long pocket chain. Skater boy, low rise jeans. My pet peeve in poetry is knowing the line between poetry and prose. Poetry does not have to rhyme, but it must have some form of structure to differentiate it from prose. Interesting point, Jack. I always say um, poetry should use heightened language. At least for me. Again, this is all subjective, so change my mind on it. But I always feel like in my poetry, I should at least try and do what I can to use heightened language, things that are separate from everyday speech. And as Nightbot says, don't forget to hit that like button. We're looking for at least two more likes. Nice. You're a legend. Thank you so much, Ken, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It all means so much to me. So thank you so much. If you'd like to, please email me a poem. Email it to contact@adamgary.co.uk. That's contact@adamgary.co.uk, and I'll read it on next week's stream. Thank you so much, Ken. It's really, really appreciated. Everyone, give that super chat a like. And yeah, thank you so much, Ken. I feel like the rhyming gives it that little extra character to the poem, but it's not important. I always try and rhyme mine because that's how I have always seen poetry. Let me read that again. I feel like the rhyming gives it that extra little character to the poem. Yeah, me too. I agree with that, but it's not important. Yes, exactly. I always try and rhyme mine because that's how I've always seen poetry. I agree. That makes sense, Mitch. It definitely feels like a rhyme is a quick tell that something is poetry, and it can be fun to work with and sort out when you are trying to write. Yeah. Sorry, email, say slow. I'm slow. No worries. I'll put it in the chat box for you, Ken. It's contact at Adam Gary, which is my name, .co.uk. And if a mod would be kind enough to just put a note in our stream card to remind me that I need to read that for next stream. My advice to poets that don't want to rhyme is to use iambic pentameter. It has saved many poems of mine. That is a very common meter as well, yeah. If you write in iambic pentameter, that's definitely going to give it a feel of a poem and a traditional poem and stuff like that. Iambic pentameter is a very popular, thanks Genevieve, is a very popular meter. If you watch my shorts, my how to write poetry in 60-second short videos, the majority of them are written in iambic. But there are other meters to explore. The opposite of iambic is trochaic, and then you've got spondee. So there are other meters to explore if you're bored of iambic. It also helps me to focus as I have to think about words that rhyme without using the same words over and over again or try and get creative with rhyming. Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. And there are lots of resources for rhyming. You got Rhyme Zone, Rhyme Dictionary. There's a couple of books behind me. The Poet's Manual and Rhyme Dictionary is a great resource. In fact, the Rhyme Dictionary behind me has gotten me out of situations that Rhyme Zone couldn't get me out of. So it's good to use different resources. I was just jumping into the mod document, but I've been signed out. That's fun. Why did I get kicked out? Do you have the definition of those other meters? So, sorry guys, I'm just logging back into my moderating doc because I got logged out for some reason. So, trochaic, which is spelt Tango, Romeo, Oscar, Charlie, Hotel, Alpha, India, Charlie. I'll put it in the chat. Trochaic is literally the opposite of iambic. So iambic is de-dum, or unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed. Shall I compare the two? And trochaic is the opposite, which so it's dum dee, dum dee, dum dee, dum dee. I can't think of an example of a trochaic line off the top of my head, so I apologize. But trochees, I think, with a Dylan Thomas poem. Yeah, probably. And then you've got spondee. Now, this I'm going to have to Google before I give you misinformation. I believe spondee is stressed, but I'm going to Google before I. Metrical foot consisting of two long syllables. Spondee is a metrical foot consisting of two long syllables or two stressed syllables. Yeah. So spondee is stressed. I vaguely remember about, yep. If I get super stuck, I tend to split the words and try to rhyme it that way, or wordplay kind of thing. But sometimes I use internet to help find rhyming words. Yeah, of course, we've got to make use of the resources available to us. Come on. How the hell I came up with Dylan Thomas, I do not know. He probably did. He probably wrote trochees or trochaic. Spondee is too stressed. It's better for replacing trochees or iams. Thank you, a poet. And if you have any examples of poet that you can throw in the chat of a trochee line or a spondee line, that would be great. It was The Tiger by William Blake. Yes. Tiger, tiger, burning bright. In trochaic tetrameter. There you go. Tiger, tiger, burning bright. Something, something in the night. I don't know. See you next week. Off to get some work done. I'm a businessman, not a poet. No worries, Ken. So glad that you could join us. All the best. And I'll read your poem next week. Also, The Lamb. Is it tiger, tiger, burning bright in the darkness of the night or in the dead of the night? No, this is going to annoy me now. Tiger, William Blake. I'll read it to you because we've got time. That's if you guys want me to read to you. You guys might not want to hear me read it. Man, Yahoo search is so crap. Sorry, Yahoo, but you are. Okay. In the forests of the night. Thank you, O poet. Thank you, thank you. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? Bye, Can. Bye, Ken. Hi, Ken. Hi, Barbie. I promise you that I'm really not that obsessed with Barbie. You guys must think like I'm a huge Barbie fan or something. I'm really not, I promise you. So tiger tiger is trochee. So tiger, you hear that? Tiger, tiger, burning bright. Do you hear? Do you hear why it's trochee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright. Nice. You're a legend. Thank you so much, Jack, for that super chat. I really, really appreciate it. It means so much. And as before, email me over a poem and I will read it on stream next week. I seen your house. There's Barbie everywhere. Wait, what? Wait, what? He's lying, folks. That's not true. I like learning without spending too much effort. Well, that's what we're here for. That's what the channel is for. Signed out of your own document. Yeah, right. Awesome. Thanks, Jack. We really appreciate it, Jack. That's very kind of you. They're the only three meters that I kind of really know off by heart, off by hand. But if anyone can think of any more, then please let me know. There's also I've heard of dactylic. Yeah, long, short, short, like in charge of the light brigade. Anapestic, I've heard of. Yeah, short, short, long, like destruction of Sennacherib. Iams, trochees, dactylic, and anapests are common. Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. Yep, thank you, a poet. There you go. There's a bit more learning for you. Ah, Has anyone has anyone written in any of those meters and got any experience that they can share with us and let us know how they found it? Because again, iambic is the big one, right? Iambic is the one that most people have probably at least tried, if not actually written in often. But has anyone tried any of the others? I'd be interested to know. There are others that are usually stand-ins, such as spondees, higher. I can't say that. Uh, Ampy Brax. My goodness, can we give a round of applause to a poet in the chat right now who is giving us so much knowledge? Thank you so much, a poet. Some of these I have Molossus, that's a cool one. As in it sounds cool. I don't think I've ever written in that. I don't think I've ever even heard of a Molossus meter, but that's awesome. Has anyone written in Molossus meter? I'm gonna have to do that now just because I need to be able to say that I've written a Molossus poem. So much knowledge being shared. Thanks, a poet. Yeah, we really appreciate it, a poet. I really appreciate it. I'm learning here too. What is Molossus? Yeah, how do you write a Molossus meter? Sorry if we're asking all the questions of you, a poet. I hope you don't mind. Mollusk. Is a mollusk like a sea creature? I'm gonna embarrass myself completely now. I've used iams, trochees, anapests, and dactyls. Dactyls are more difficult. Also, feet amounts change difficulty. Trimeter and dimeter are hard. Nice. I love this. I love this, a poet. I take my I take my hat off to a poet. There you go. Look at my flat hat here. I take my hat off to a poet because you're doing great. This is awesome. I have no idea what I look like. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, my my YouTube has crashed again. I'm assuming that I'm. Hang on. I'm assuming that I'm still live because every time this happens, it doesn't affect the stream. So I'm just going to reload. I don't know what my laptop's doing tonight. I've been kicked out of my moderating file and still live. Thanks, Genevieve. Kicked out of my moderating file and now kicked out of my own stream. Yeah, mollusks are like clams and such. Okay, got you. Gosh, this has been a really sort of educational stream. I've enjoyed this stream. Hang on, I'm just tucking my hair behind my ears. This has been a really, really educational stream. Nice one, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's my favorite part of the week, jumping on live with you guys. So, all stressed apart. Molossus. Oh, sorry, I missed that. Molossus is long, long, long. Break, break, break is a great example. Again, it's a stand-in for. I like to think Molossus is a colossus of molasses. Hey, we hit 21 likes. Woo, woo, woo. We hit 21 likes. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate it. One of these days, we're going to have to set ourselves the target of breaking our live record. I'm not sure what it is. It's mentioned in the text that scrolls along the screen down here somewhere. I think it's something like 31 or 32 likes. This has been a great stream. As an amateur poet, I've learned so much. Thank you. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn from each other and help each other and just hang out and have a good time and laugh and stuff like that. All the good stuff. Okay, I guess we'll wrap it up there. We almost hit the 2 hour mark. Uh, if you're a channel member, after this stream, you do have access. You should have access, and if you don't, message me. You should have access to next week's video, the early access. So go and give that a watch, leave it a comment, leave it a like, all the good stuff like that. Otherwise, Tuesday, it will be out on Tuesday, regular posting time. Do I have anything else I need to promote? Come and join us on the Poetry Cove. It's been a real joy reading all of your poems and reconnecting with all of you. Yesterday was really, really great. And if you are on Instagram and you feel like it, give me a follow at Adam Gary Poetry on Instagram. And of course, if you can, become a channel member too for lots of exclusive stuff. Oh, what can all the knight at arms alone and palely loitering? The sedge has withered from the lake, and no birds sing. That was very medieval of you, Jack. If you don't know what molasses is, I think you call it treacle. Ah, okay, okay. Such a great, energetic, fun live stream. Have a good week. Have a good evening and slash week, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much. I adore you guys. Thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate all of you. The channel is just going from strength to strength, and it's all because of you. And you inspire me to make better content. So I hope you enjoyed Tuesday's video. I hope you enjoyed the last video as well. And with all that being said, thank you so much. And I'll see you in the comment section of Tuesday's video.